Welcome to a new episode of Orenda Power. Today, for a change, we're talking about ants. They are German stormtroopers and they are my Swiss army knife of the insect kingdom. They're very evolved, very adapted, and very interesting. Later, we are also going to talk about the 26-gallon aquarium. So, let's start the episode by talking about the terrarium where the ants actually live. The terrarium is thriving. The grass is growing tall and strong. The flowers are also getting stronger, as well as the moss, which is covering most of the land. For the creatures living in this vivarium, it is paradise. The millipede are reproducing, and the other creatures such as isopod, worm, snails, and other creatures are living in there happily. But one creature is above all of them, the ant, or rather the colony of ants. What makes them so special is the fact that, contrarily to all the others, they are able to actually escape, but they remain in their free will and choose the vivarium as their base and the home of the colony. You see, they are small enough to escape, but they are using the land around the vivarium to hunt. I often see some scouts searching for food. I don't see a lot of them. Most of the time, it's only 4. And they are looking everywhere on this wooden plate that support the vivarium. But once a small ant finds something bigger that they cannot kill individually, they use the strength in number to overcome stronger and more powerful prey. You see, an ant alone is able to kill small creatures because they are equipped with mandibles as well as a stinger. The stinger is basically exactly the same as a wasp, but they are, for the most part, harmless for us humans. Other species of ants, though, have a very powerful sting, and this is very crazy. In fact, one other crazy thing about ants is that they have evolved into a society millions of years ago, in the Jurassic period, where the dinosaurs were at their peak. They have decided, when they were wasps, to become social and thus overcoming more enemies by being together. Even in face of other ants, my colony is able to kill and defend their colony. I call them stormtroopers because, like in the First World War, they are able to act quickly and they are able to overwhelm any enemy at any given point. Now, the army of ants probably round up around 100 to 200 individuals. It's not a very big colony, but it definitely needs a lot of food. Or so would I thought. Anyway, the ants have been able to survive at least 3 to 4 weeks without my intervention in terms of food or water. They were able to hunt for themselves and they were able to drink any water near their vivarium. I am giving them and it's been like 2 weeks now that I'm giving them some extra food that the ant really seems to appreciate. I often give them Japanese beetles because Japanese beetles are invasive in Canada, but I also give them other creatures such as dead frogs, dead minnows, and other dead creatures. I don't like to give live food to the ants simply because it is a very cruel death in my opinion, due to like thousands and multiple bites slowly but surely tearing you apart, but in reality, in nature, this is what would happen. So I often find some Japanese beetle and decapitate them, ensuring a quick death. Now let's start talking about the 26-gallon aquarium, which is also a very self-sustained ecosystem, especially compared to, for example, the 44-gallon aquarium. Now, obviously, the 26-gallon isn't completely self-sustained, but it is very low maintenance, and it is probably the lowest maintenance I will ever be able to achieve. For filtration, only a sponge filter the aquarium, and the water is changed most of the time every 2 weeks, and filtration is also done by plants. Now, like in the vivarium, there is one king of this aquarium, and it is probably Lucius. He is a giant amongst small creatures such as platies, goldbarbs, checkered barbs, and other small community fish, but he is gentle. He actually prefers to be peaceful instead of showing some aggressive or territorial behaviors. In fact, I've never seen him nip any fish or attack any fish whatsoever. He is peaceful, gentle, and perfect as a boss of this aquarium. Now, right behind him is probably the betta fish, because the betta fish are a bit more territorial, though they don't really attack any of the other fish in the aquarium. This is Rust, my favorite betta fish out of the 2 remaining. Now, obviously, Lucius is dead, but the 2 females, so Rust and Sapphira, are still alive. I prefer Sapphira simply because of the red and also the better behavior, though I think Sapphira is a prettier fish. Now, sometime in a community aquarium, there is some problems, and I had to remove the rainbow fish because they were attacking the Colombian tetras. I have no idea why, but the Colombian tetras were just getting bullied way too much. Now, since I have introduced the platies in this aquarium, there have been some spawning activity, at least some spawning action. So you see that Daenerys, the female, is being chased by both those 2 orange males, which is very interesting. I don't have fries yet, but I'm sure it is going to arrive pretty soon. Now, like the ants, some fish really enjoy living in group and hunting in group. This is the case of the gold barb as well as the checkered barbs, which will be feeding a lot on food that the mollies are also going to enjoy. You see, in nature, when you rely on a group, it is easier to protect yourself as well as to find some food, though it is harder to simply eat by yourself. Now, for the 44-gallon aquarium, we also have a special little friend. We have a minnow. He was probably introduced by me adding the plants, and he is very, very tiny, and yet he has survived so far. So anyway, thanks out for watching. I'm going to keep the minnow in there. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to both this channel and the other one. I have some special announcement concerning the other channel, but for now, may the fish be with you always, and I love you all.